Good morning, everybody. It's the 28th of December, and I hope you've had a lovely Christmas Day and Boxing Day holiday. It's been a very strange couple of weeks for me because I had a 7 day ban from Twitter, and then I got a 7 day ban from Facebook as well, simply for saying something along the lines of, I haven't taken an experimental injection and I'm not going to, and giving reasons for that as well. So, we live in a very inverted world, perverse world at the moment where people like Andrew Neil can write a piece for a national newspaper saying it's time to punish Britain's 5 million vaccine refuseniks. But then when I say that this is what I'm doing, and I don't care what you say, I get banned and cancelled myself. And not just me. I know that other people have said similar things, researched posts and opinions and just adding to the debate have been banned as well. But look, I'd really like to thank everybody who has still shared things that I've been saying, because I've still been posting on Gab and on Telegram, particularly. Thank you, Jennifer Arcuri, Leilani Dowding, and Alan Miller for reposting videos that have been made of me and other people on the London Freedom Rally, which was a really, really wonderful day, the 18th of December, a few days after the Johnson regime, with the help of Labour, pushed through vaccine passports in England, and Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland have already had them. So now that's the whole of the UK have got these things written into law. These things are the end goal. The vaccine passports are the end goal of the Great Reset and the globalist plans for this country and countries around the world. So whatever has happened in the past about lockdowns, about mask wearing, about vaccines, which I do not agree with the mantra that they're safe and effective for many reasons. But whatever has happened with them, the goal of this is to get people onto the Chinese Communist Party style digital identity and social credit control system, so that the government can then control everything you do and your finances, and you're not free to do anything, even spend your own money, without the government seeing what you do and perhaps turning off your money supply when they add central bank digital currencies to the NHS COVID app. And over the last couple of weeks, there's been even more nonsense or resetting, if you like, coming our way. Just yesterday, the government, the Johnson government, published a proposal paper for a new law, which it's not really fleshed out, but it's bringing in digital identity attribute system. And they're talking about digital identity for the right to work, the right to rent, and the criminal sort of record check system, which you need for some jobs, and you also need these days in the UK, even if you're going to volunteer for something. Now, there's not too much detail on this, but they're talking about this starting in April 2022 and making a new law to bring in digital identity for the right to work, the right to rent. This will vastly expand the remit of digital identity, which they've got at the moment for entry into nightclubs. And, you can see in Scotland, for example, they brought it in saying, don't worry, it's only for events over 10,000 people. They've now reduced that to 500. Wales, they've reduced it to, I think it's 200 inside, 500 outside, and so your freedoms are being restricted and curtailed by this wherever they bring them in. So we still have to carry on speaking out about the potential safety side effects of these experimental injections, which are there for everybody to see, even on the government MHRA's own yellow card system and data from the Office for National Statistics. But the narrative around the need for vaccines is collapsing, and there was this ridiculous local government advertisement the other day in Hammersmith and Fulham, saying vaccines run out of charge just like a battery, so you need to get a booster. And now they're saying the boosters only work for a 10-week period, so they don't start working until 3 weeks after you've had one, and then they run out 3 months after you've had one, and then you're going to have to go and get another booster. And who knows, they might say that only works for a couple of months, and then you need another one. So even people who have had these injections are now starting to wake up and think this is utterly ridiculous. Look, most people who had them didn't have them because they were afraid of SARS-CoV-2, because almost everybody can overcome SARS-CoV-2 and other coronaviruses with their own immune system. And most people took an injection because they wanted to go on holiday and travel. Because again, the Johnson regime has made it so difficult to travel without getting an injection or without getting a stick up your nose, which has its own safety risks, and also without getting the NHS track and trace app, or now the NHS COVID app, digital identity. So I haven't travelled since a year ago, and I won't do if I'm going to need a digital identity to do so. We need to have millions of acts of non-compliance, and this was the message that went out at the Freedom Rally on the 18th of December. And you know, I'm so grateful to the people that came up and interviewed me and were covering that and interviewed other people, and particularly Oracle Films did an absolutely beautiful video of the day, the Freedom Rally in London, and I was so privileged to be honoured by them, to be interviewed. Sorry, privileged to be interviewed by them. That's what I mean. And along with Gareth Ike and Leilani appeared on the video as well. It was a wonderful video, which is really a historical document of the day. And you know, I think that Freedom Rally with 100,000 people marching through London saying, we do not consent, we will not comply with your rules if you want to bring in more repugnant regulations. If you're going to try to tell us to close our businesses, to stop seeing our friends and our families, to stop going for a walk in the park, you know, even to wear masks on the train, etc., go to the supermarket, we're not going to comply. We're just going to live life as normal. We reject your Great Reset. We reject your Soviet, Bolshevik, East German style system where you make criminal offences out of everyday, ordinary activities, and you try to get people to turn against other people and to inform on them to the police for just having a coffee morning or something like this. Turn people, person against person, man against man, woman against woman. And this is what they're doing. And this is how they are abusing us, or it's one of the ways in which they're abusing the population. And we're not going to have it. We're not going to have it. We're just going to carry on living normally. We're not going to wear masks. We're not going to get your injections, and we're not going to take your digital identity. And that's that. And if we own businesses, we are not going to discriminate on the basis of anything, including vaccination status. We are not going to enforce your plans for medical apartheid. And that's that. And I think the Johnson regime saw many, many more people out in London and other places around the country saying we're just simply going to refuse this time. And I think that they haven't put in place other measures yet. But there's still psychologically abusing people by threatening to do it and then pulling back and then threatening again. So they're keeping everybody in a state of fear and a state of anxiety. This is playbook abuse on how to break the spirit of people from Biderman's chart of coercion. Look that up and you'll see these are techniques developed by the CIA and other people back in the 50s and 60s to break the spirit of prisoners. And this is what our government is trying to do to the people. They are making psychological war on the people, and we haven't asked for it. We just want to carry on with our business and go about our lives. We do not want a great reset, a great reimagining, a great reshaping of our country. It's not your business to do it, and it's not the business of the puppet masters behind you in the World Economic Forum, etc., to say what happens in our country. It's ours to say what happens. It's our right and our decision what happens in our country, not you globalists. You can take your ideas and stick them where the sun doesn't shine.